Dune Chapter 2. So before I jump into my thoughts on that chapter, I realize I actually didn't give much of a plot synopsis for Dune Chapter 1. Part of that's because my brain's been fried. The family's been sick with the flu. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm getting it or not. I have a little bit of a cough, so I don't know if it's in my head or actually something going on, but we'll see. Thankfully, the family's doing better, and hopefully we're over all of that stuff. But for Chapter 1, quick plot summary there is we're learning about Paul Atreides, part of the House of Atreides. His father is Duke Leto, and Leto is about to take over a planet called Arrakis that is also called Dune, go figure. And in this chapter, Paul is visited by the head of the Bene Gesserit, which is sort of a special mystical class, I believe, of all women, kind of similar to the Jedi in Star Wars. And this Reverend Mother is going to use the test of the Gom Jabber, basically to verify if Paul is actually human or not. And what this is intended to do is to determine if he has, if he can like bypass animal instincts or something like that. I'm sure I'll learn more about it. But this Gom Jabbar or Jabber, which I'd rather call it a Jabber because it's like literally this pin thing that she holds up against his neck that's tipped with poison. And if he messes up, she's gonna poke him and lights out for Paul. But anyway, he's got to put his hand in this sort of box thing, which makes his hand feel like it's burning up and being destroyed, and it just hurts really, really bad. And lo and behold, he passes the test so that the story can move on, and she's pretty impressed, pretty pleased. Also thinks he might be something called the Quasit Haderach. I'm probably butchering that name. I'll try to do better in the future if I did, but this is sort of like a chosen one. Type of character to bring like balance to the universe. I still got to learn more about this. Anyway, Paul's mother, Jessica, who's also a Bene Gesserit's pretty happy that her son wasn't snuffed out that day. And then we move into Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, we switch points of views, and now we're looking through the eyes of the leader of the Harkonnen house, and this guy's name is Vladimir Harkonnen, and he's someone who's not taken too great of care of himself. I guess he's just pretty overweight, and he needs this device to even help him move around and so forth. So he's lurking in the shadows, spinning this globe of, if I recall, Arrakis, and trying to he's talking some smack to his buddy Peter, Piter. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but we're going to go with it. And they're just going back and forth, talking about Arrakis. Harkonnen's making fun of Peter for his love of spice, because spice, which is harvested on Arrakis by this company called CHOAM, CHOAM, I believe, it's both used for interplanetary travel, so you can actually get to planet in a reasonable amount of time. And also this Peter guy likes to apparently sniff the spice too much. He's a bit of an addict, and this makes his eyes go blue, and of course Harkonnen's making fun of him. So they're going back and forth, having a jolly old time, when we find out that Harkonnen's nephew, named Fade Rotha, and if you watch the movie, you'll know who this is. But the picture I have in my mind of this character is different than what I hear about in the book. In the book, it's a little bit more of a teenager type of kid. So, but anyway, Fade's sitting there, and he's pretty annoyed. He's getting really bored with the bantering between Harkonnen and this Peter guy. And of course, Harkonnen, being the super perceptive fellow that he is, notices this, and he's like, hey, chill out, nephew. We're going to get to the good stuff pretty soon. A little more bantering. And then Harkonnen starts talking about his grand plan, an alliance with the Emperor, where when Leto and the Atreides family come to take over rule of Arrakis or Dune from the Harkonnens, they're going to betray him. They're going to mess everything up. They're going to knock out Leto. They also talk about Paul a little bit and say, oh, poor kid, he's going to get caught in the crossfire, and they're kind of building some intrigue that he might be a little more special than even Leto is. And at this point, Fade Rotha, he's starting to feel a little bit better about this whole situation. He's getting the gossip he was looking for. He's in the in crowd, and he's ready to roll and see what's going on in Arrakis and Dune. So that's where we leave things off in Chapter 2, and I will follow up with my thoughts on Chapter 3 soon. If you want to keep following along with me as I'm reading the whole Dune series for the first time. I hear it gets, after book 2 in particular, really kind of weird. So I'm looking forward to that. Then please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.